In this video, let us talk about three very important things you need to do now to prepare for the New Yam Festival. Now, if you follow this channel for a few years, you know that we make videos every year to discuss the New Yam Festival, sometimes the peculiarities in its celebration in different parts of Igbo land, and sometimes we want to go off philosophical and stuff. But if you're interested in learning about Africa, African stories, African history, African culture, then you should hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you're notified every time we make new content. My name is Michael and I host the Civics Africa YouTube channel. Now, today let's talk about the New Yam. I know some of you might find it strange because the festival isn't coming up for another maybe 4 or 5 months, depending on what culture you practice and what part of Africa you live in. But you see, a lot of our people now live in the diaspora, and that means that they no longer have that direct connection to the African land. And so I'm making this video for all of the Africans in the diaspora, but also for Africans who live in Africa, but have also lost touch with the culture and have very little understanding about these things. So let me hold your hand and be your guide, and let me talk you through the New Year Festival and possibly why you should prepare to celebrate it. Now, these are tricky things you should do if you have interest in celebrating the New Year Festival. Number one, own some land, even if it's only in a pot. Yeah, very important, because our ancestors had a deep connection with the land, and they'll go to war, they'll kill, they'll die to protect the land of their ancestors. And in today's world, because now we live in a global village, people travel, a lot of people no longer own lands as our ancestors did, probably because the population is growing and there probably isn't a lot of land to go around in some parts of Africa, and in some other parts we have loads and loads of land. So if you come from a part of the world where you come from a part of Africa where you don't have access to land, or you live in the city in a rented apartment and you don't have access to a farmland, or you live in the diaspora where there is no land at all. Like, I'm not saying there are no lands in Europe and America and stuff, but you get what I mean. There is no African land in those parts. I would encourage you to own some land, even if you have to put in a cup or put in a pot. Yeah, have some soil, maybe something from Africa, or if you can't get any soil from Africa, but you can get some soil from wherever it is settled. Get some soil and put in a pot, and this is yours. And this is important because you can't grow anything without soil. Soil is the medium that makes everything grow, that gives life. And based off of many African belief systems, the earth is the mother that births all of us, and that is why when we die, we're buried in the belly of the earth. Does that make any sense? Yes. So own some land. It's going to be very important, and this isn't for like any rituals or stuff, just because every time you look at it, every time you see it, it kind of reminds you of where you come from, of who you are. Now, the second thing you need to do to prepare for New Year Festival is grow a plant, and preferably something you can eat out of. Now, I recognize that most people don't grow yam. Most people who come from communities that celebrate the New Year Festival no longer grow yam. Now, historically, every family, every man grew yam, so that at the time of the harvest, you're taking out of your harvest to perform these rites, to say the prayers, to bless the new year, and all of those kinds of stuff. But in today's world, most people don't grow yams. And there are these big commercial farms that probably do all the cultivation, and the rest of us just buy yam from the market and we eat, and that is okay. But the planting of the yam is as symbolic as it's important to eat it. And so you live in a part of the city where you don't have access to land and you can't grow anything, that's totally fine. But you have some land, grow something that reminds you of the journey of the yam, of growth, of productivity, of blossoming, of becoming, of maturity. Yeah. And then if what you can grow is a herb, a tiny little herb that you can take out a few leaves out of. I think one, it will spice up the yam at the time when you decide to eat it, and number two, it becomes your own contribution out of your hard work, out of you working the land. So it's not only just a symbolic celebration that we're eating the new yam, but we are also contributing something from the land to the feast, and that I think would do you a lot of good. And finally, number three, and this is the one I like the most, you have to understand the secret of the yam. The yam is just a food crop, but then it also holds a lot of very interesting secrets that make it symbolic, that make it the king of crops, that make it the crop that many African cultures celebrate. And I'm not going to share all of the secrets in this video. I'm just going to talk about one or two, but I promise I'm going to make another video where I discuss all the, well, maybe not all, but where I discuss some of the more important secrets of the yam. And I think the first I would like to talk about the sacrifice. The yam is a symbol of sacrifice, and that is because you cannot grow new yam without cutting up the old one. So it literally gives a part of itself for new life to come. So it doesn't matter if you're cutting the head of the yam, or you're just cutting it up into bits and then taking out chunks of it and putting them in the ground, or you're taking an entire seedling and putting in the ground, or you're taking a whole new yam and putting in the ground. Basically, the yam gives its life to produce new one. So when you grow your yam and when you prepare, as you reflect on a new yam, you have to think sacrifice, because it takes yam to produce yam. Does that make any sense? Yeah. And then the second would be a symbolic for reincarnation. Now, Africans believe in reincarnation. We believe that when we die and come back, we return, the essence of those who were. And that is exactly what the yam does. Every time the yam plant grows and begins to develop new food, it's not entirely a new yam, it's not a new plant, it's only a reincarnation of yam that was. So it's this analogy so close to our belief in our existence as people that make yam so special. And so the next time you look at yam, next time you want to grow yam, or you want to celebrate the Yam Festival, look at that food and think of reincarnation, think of dying and of coming back, and think of sacrifices, of giving up something of you to create something even better. And I hope these very two simple points are helping you see the yam in a very different light. Now check out for the next video I'm going to make, because I'm going to discuss 7 secrets of the yam. It could be more, but 7 secrets guaranteed. And I hope that helps you appreciate the process, and probably maybe even encourage you to grow some yam and prepare for the Yam Festival. Thank you for watching, and if you have any comments or questions about any stuff I've talked about in this video, contributions, leave them in the comment section. Give us a like, because it's good for the algorithm. If you're still not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you're notified every time we make new content. Thank you all for watching, and see you in the next video.